Taking the day, I am taking the day. All right, everybody, welcome to Coffee and Conversation. Good Monday morning. I hope that you are having a fantastic morning. I am Angela Calloway, your spiritual barista here. I'm going to give you a little bit of encouragement for this week. I shouldn't even say a little bit because I got a lot to say today. I even have notes. And it's not often I bring notes. I kind of, share with you. I consistently share with you just the takeaways from my week and what I feel God is sharing with me and what I'm learning in my own life. So before we jump right in for this week's encouragement, I have just got to give a shout out to one of my girlfriends who owns a clothing boutique, Legacy Status. So I got this nice little, I love these things in the summer. They're fantastic because they're really cool, So I love the shawls and the kimonos and the wraps, that, and I wear them all year round, really. Just some I go to a sheer one because I just love the whole little wrap thing. That's just something I like. But in particular, I just must call out, she sells matte lipsticks. Now this is for my ladies, so fellas, just give me about 2 seconds and then we'll be back on task. But ladies, this lipstick is number 6. There is literally nothing on the cup. Now those of us that are coffee drinkers, that is huge. To be able to, let me show you, I'm gonna prove it. Nothing on the cup. Y'all, the lips are holding up. Listen, Legacy Status, legacy with an I, status.com. I'm going to put the link, Legacy Status Beauty. I'm going to put the link in the description below. Get your life, y'all. Get your life. Get your life. Get your life. All right. That's it for today, and I'm going to get my last good sip. That thing good today, y'all. All right. Last good sip. All right, so here is what we're going to talk about today. And I feel this in my heart, down deep in my heart. There are times in our life, for those of us that are seekers, for those of us that are strivers, that live our life by seeking ye shall find. Let's go get it. Get after it. Take the day. Those of us that live in that space, that hunger for more in life, there are times where you just become frustrated with the process of it. Yeah, I understand life is a journey, but this journey is a process. And the process can be exhausting. I mean, and let me give you specifically what I'm talking about. If you've graduated, one day you are, oh my God, I graduated, I got the degree, and the next day you need a job. So you've graduated and now you have to climb the next mountain of getting the job. Okay, so you get the job. And job search, those of us that are in the job search, that looking for jobs it's a complicated, hard thing. You're applying, you don't know what they're looking for and why they're looking for it, and you're hoping something shakes out. All of the individuals that I know that's job hunting, it takes like 6 to 8 months to find a position. That's a long time. We grown-ups, we need a check, right? But then after you get the job and you're celebrating, oh, I got the job, I got the job, I got the job. Now you got to learn the job. It's another process. You got to learn how this particular company works. And you have to learn how this new employer works. Your new leader, your new co-workers, you have to learn. It's that process. Okay, so you spend months being excited about having a child. Oh my God, I got a baby, my beautiful. Now you have to raise the child. Now I got to go through diapers and changes, and then you got to start dealing with the school system. We have covered that, have we not? Oh, great God, help. Haven't we covered that for me this year? The school system, and then you have to, then you get to a certain point, right after you get to the point you feel like you've kind of mastered the school thing, they introduce these tests that your child must pass. And I don't know why you've forgotten, because you took these tests when you were in school. You knew you had to pass the test to go to the next grade, but then it seemed brand spanking new when it's you. But now you have to raise the child. And it's summer, and now it's time for camp. I mean, it's something, right? You get married. Let's take that back a step. You're dating. You finally think you got something good. I got something good. Y'all get married. And then you find out the person you dated is not the person you married, because how you behave as a boyfriend or girlfriend is completely different than how you behave as a spouse. Oh, I'm talking real good. That's real good today. Y'all, that's so good. Because it's true. These are all the various processes that we experience on a day in and day out basis of our life. And the truth is, it is exhausting. It's exhausting. All the different processes. And it's what compounds to the issue is that we live in a world where everything is instant. You don't have to wait for anything. Our phones, our computers, our tablets, all of that gives us this feel of instant, it's not even gratification, because it's the way we live our life. I mean, that's a part of it. But it really is just the way that we live our life. We live our life where it just happens in a minute. You don't have to wait for 2 or 3 weeks for things to process. It happens in a minute. I work in healthcare, and we spend a lot of energy in creating technology that's immediate. We don't want paper processes. We don't want you to have to call. We want you to get on the computer and get everything you need in seconds. And that's the type of world that we live in. But the processes that I'm talking about, it's not instant. Yeah, you can have a dating app, but that does not mean an instant great relationship for my single folk. That app did a lot of the work for you. Yes, it did. It gave you the resume. But that doesn't speak to connectivity. That doesn't speak to relationship. That doesn't speak to how you will potentially get along with this individual and how you'll build a life together with this person. That's not done in an instant. That takes process. You get a wedding ceremony is 20 minutes, 25 if you got a lot of folk. And you will spend years trying to, in process, trying to do what you said you would do one day. One early Saturday morning, late Saturday evening, or Sunday afternoon. And that process can be extremely exhausting, frustrating, and tiring. And so I want to give you some tips on how to stay encouraged, because I don't care where you find yourself, whether you're young, older, wherever you at in the story. We have to stay encouraged in our various processes. When you find yourself feeling a little beat up by the process we call life, one, I want you to take care of yourself. Whatever works for you, do self-care. And I don't mean, because you should do self-care in general, but I'm talking about the aspect and the part of self-care that is, don't try to keep acting like it's not wearing you out, and it is. Maybe you need to take a walk every day. You need to do something to intentionally care for you physically, mentally, spiritually. I'm frustrated with work. How am I going to mentally be okay when I interact and engage with my coworkers, with my leadership? What am I going to do to be okay? I'm going to drink lots of coffee. Maybe I'm going to take a different vitamin. I'm going to go to bed earlier so that I'm rested and I'm not as frustrated. How do I need to take care of myself so that I can meet the need of this situation? When something frustrating happens, do I try to press on with my day? Or maybe I take 15 minutes to meditate and collect myself and remind myself that it's not the end of the world. That these processes make up a whole life. Sometimes we get so focused on one aspect of our process, of our story, that we forget we have a whole life. And you have an entire life that you're living. Just because one process, or two or three, and sometimes 4 or 5, I'm a living witness, that those things happen, that the processes are happening, but it's a part of the story. It's not the entire story. So let's get the proper perspective about it. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually. Next, I want to tell you, and maybe you need to slow down. Slow down, pay attention to what you need. You might need to read something inspirational. YouTube has tons of motivational everything. You could Google anything motivational on YouTube. Maybe you watch a variety of different kinds of videos that speak specifically to areas of encouragement that you need. Next, I want to encourage you to find release. Find a way to release. Maybe it's crying. Release might mean being around individuals that you can talk about it to, talk about it with, and finding that right individual is key. Y'all, is key. I'm telling you. I have been frustrated with work. I have vented to my sister. I vented to my husband. And just on this past weekend, I was with a group of friends. We're all professional. And a friend of mine asked, hey, you mentioned work a lot on your channel. So what's going on with you in work? And I didn't want to talk about it, but I was like, you know what? Let's just talk about it. And I cannot tell you how the support, just being able to be supported and be heard, while I had talked about it with my husband, another business partner, and my sister, the support from those were the right ears. They had the right words. They had the right advice. They were able to be the right mirror for me, and it was very effective. Maybe you need to release to a therapist. Maybe you need to release to a clergy member or a minister, or maybe you need to chant or meditate, but find a way to release. Whatever way works for you, but you must have release. You have to let it go, because if not, what happens is you can move into a place of desperation, a place of thirsty. You know how we say, ooh, they thirsty. You want a man, you want a woman so bad, you thirsty, you do anything, you're desperate, you just hungry because you haven't released, because you haven't taken care of you. But you have to release. You have to release. And when I say release, I mean, I'm speaking specifically to, you need to release your frustration about it. Release your hurt about it. Because sometimes these processes hurt, y'all. They hurt. It hurts when you're looking for a job and you can't find one. And you feel rejected. We just talked about that. It hurts when you are seeking a goal and there's failure after the goal. There's hurt after that. And you have to find a way to help, and from a healthy place, release the negative energy, and let the negative energy, the negative feelings, the frustration, all that negative emotion that you holding in here and trying to press through, you have to acknowledge it and let it go. That doesn't mean you have to seek outside of yourself, but you have to find how you're going to release it with yourself. If what you want to do, I cry. I will sit in the floor and cry. Sit right on the bedroom floor and say, I'm just super frustrated, God. I'm frustrated with this entire situation. And and do the whole ugly cry until I just feel better, and then I take a nap. That's my way of releasing. And then sometimes release comes in, I was frustrated about something with the kids, and I called my husband and did the ugly cry on him. Help me. Sure did. Yes, I did. I really did. And as a result of that, he's reaching out. He's responding to that cry, that outcry. Sometimes you have to release, so that you can help with your processes. Okay, last, because I know I'm getting long today, y'all. I knew I was going to be long. Try not to be. My last point is, remember that life is a process, and that processes exist. We're so used to instant things that we forget that there are processes, and that that's a part of life, and that it is the process. And when I say process, I'm using process as and interchangeably for saying that life has challenges, life has steps, life has mountains, life has obstacles. Process is another word for obstacle. Process is another word for challenges. And when you get really positive, you say process is another word for opportunities for success and elevation. See, that's the cute way of saying it. But when you're on the other side of it and it's been long, it feels like an obstacle. Remember, life is a process, and to respect your process. Everybody has a process, their own process, and whatever yours is, honor and respect your process. Yes. Honor and respect your process. And find encouragement as you go along. I was watching Beyonce last night again, their Homecoming on Netflix. It's just good, right? And one of the things that I love about it is that she shows her process to Coachella, to Baychella. She showed her process. She showed, hey. And one of the things that I really loved is that she expressed, I'm not the same person I used to be. And that ministered to me as a mother. When she was like, I used to be able to rehearse for 15 hours. And I can't anymore. I got to get out of this meeting and go take care of my 11 children, is what she said. I can't stay all night and rehearse. I have to do things differently. My process has changed. Respect your process. And if your process needs to change, change it. Change your process. Change the way you interpret life. Change the way you look at the obstacle, the issue, the challenge. Look at it as an opportunity. Now, how can you do that with the processes that exist in your life? How can you do that in the different various areas of your life? How can you engage differently with the obstacles in your life, with the processes of your life, with the opportunities of your life? I want you to look at that this week. I want you to take the day. Y'all get you another cup of coffee and enjoy this fabulous summer day. I wish you life. I wish you love. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.